This is the brief on the Real Madrid and Leganes football matchup. Real Madrid recently dominated Leganes 4-1 in a 2026 preseason friendly, but this matchup actually reveals a much deeper story about La Liga's tactical science, bizarre ticket economics, and modern stadium logistics. First, Madrid's closed-door victory featured a slick assist from Trent Alexander-Arnold, plus goals from Federico Valverde and Franco Mastantuono. So are smaller teams like Leganes just helpless against giants in this whole David versus Goliath setup? Well, not necessarily. Data shows teams relying on an elaborate attack or deep defending actually get the best results, though clubs must constantly adapt. But hey, this massive tactical gap on the pitch directly translates to a financial gap at the box office. Second, how does this inequality hit your wallet? Are clubs just throwing darts at a board to set prices? Kinda. Spanish First Division ticket prices vary by a staggering 300%. Research shows only 5 of 20 La Liga clubs use an optimal pricing strategy based on what fans actually value, like opponent quality or stadium facilities. So since you're probably overpaying for a ticket, you'd better know how to get inside the arena without a total headache. Finally, going to the newly renovated Santiago Bernabeu is literally like navigating high-security airport checkpoints. Fans face digital-only tickets and a strict no-luggage policy. Most importantly, there's a crucial 2026 logistical hurdle. Metro Line 10 is closed between Cusco and Nuevos Ministerios, meaning you've absolutely got to plan alternate bus or walking routes. Between adapting your tactical gameplay on the pitch, budgeting for massive price markups, and dodging Madrid's metro closures, surviving modern Spanish football requires a serious game plan.
So Jose Mourinho just returned to Real Madrid, and within about 90 minutes of a closed-doors friendly against Leganes, he completely broke the academic consensus on how this team is actually supposed to play football.
Yeah, it's wild to see on paper. Looking at the tactical data you provided for this deep dive, it's so clear why you flagged this match.
Right.
We're basically watching a real-time evolution of a club whose tactical DNA has been, carved in stone for years.
Exactly. So today we're looking at your tactical research to figure out how does a notoriously pragmatic manager like Mourinho hotwire this possession-heavy Real Madrid squad to dismantle a really stubborn La Liga defense in under 90 minutes.
Well, to get why this 4-1 win is such a big deal, you really have to look at how Real Madrid usually operates.
Okay, let's unpack this, because I think visualization helps here.
Sure, yeah. In the academic study on La Liga game styles we have, researchers categorize teams into quadrants. And historically, Madrid sits squarely in the EAHD bucket.
Which is elaborate attack and high-pressure defending, right?
Exactly. They don't usually rush.
So if we're visualizing this, it's like Real Madrid is a python. Their passing networks are the coils, and they just slowly suffocate the opponent by holding on to the ball.
I like that, yeah. Denying them possession until they inevitably just, make a mistake.
Right.
That's a perfect way to look at the mechanics of it. And the high-pressure part means when they do actually lose the ball, they don't retreat.
They strike back right away.
Yeah, they press immediately, really high up the pitch, trying to win it back in the opponent's half before the other team can even, set up their defense.
So if they are this slow, methodical python, what happens when Mourinho goes up against a team that refuses to be squeezed? Leganes, for example, because the data classifies them as direct attack and deep defending.
Right, so Leganes basically wears a spiky suit of armor. They use a really deep defensive block.
Meaning they just pack all their players tightly around their own penalty area.
Exactly. So the harder the python squeezes, the more it hurts itself. Leganes invites that high pressure, absorbs it, and then boom, they launch a quick vertical counterattack.
Like a cobra strike.
Yeah, that's the risk.
Yeah.
And early in this friendly, it actually worked flawlessly.
Oh, wow.
Leganes dragged Madrid's high-pressing midfielders totally out of position, which created this massive void in the center of the pitch. And Naim Garcia exploited that exact space on a quick counter to put Leganes up 1-0.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting, though, because I'm a bit confused. If Leganes just proved they can completely bypass the high press and score, is Mourinho actually fixing Real's tactical vulnerabilities, or is he just, bailing them out because he has a billion-dollar roster to lean on?
It's super tempting to say it's just pure talent taking over, but the mechanics of his in-game adjustments tell a really different story. He didn't panic.
He didn't just tell them to fall back.
No, not at all. Instead, he dropped Trent Alexander-Arnold into almost a quarterback role.
Wait, really? But if Trent is hitting like 50-yard bombs over the midfield, doesn't that completely abandon the whole Python possession identity you just talked about?
That's the genius of the tweak, actually. He didn't abandon the elaborate attack, he gave it a bypass valve.
Oh, I see.
Since Leganes had completely clogged the midfield to stop those short synchronized passes, Mourinho dropping Alexander-Arnold deeper turned a 30-yard midfield gridlock into a 50-yard aerial highway.
Okay, wow. So he uses a direct solution to solve an elaborate problem.
Exactly. And that specific adjustment resulted in this pinpoint long pass from Trent directly to Gonzalo Garcia. It completely took the deep block out of the equation.
But he didn't just stop there, right?
No, he didn't. Around the 70th minute, Mourinho shifted the whole physical dynamic of the match. Leganes' deep block requires intense discipline and stamina.
And their legs were probably gone by then.
Completely. Once they were exhausted from defending those long aerial balls, Mourinho just flooded the pitch with youth academy players.
Right, because we saw Franco Mastantuono come on, and he's the one who reacted fastest to a rebound off another Alexander-Arnold strike, making it 3-1.
Yeah, Mourinho changed the formation to something way more fluid. He leveraged the fresh legs of those youth players to just pull the exhausted Leganes defenders completely out of their rigid structure.
Just drowning them in energy.
Overwhelmed them so much, they ultimately forced an own goal to cap it off at 4-1.
So, looking at the pattern for this upcoming La Liga season, it seems like Real Madrid is evolving into this terrifying hybrid. Like, opponents have to prepare for the traditional suffocating Python press, but now they also have to worry about Mourinho's direct bypass valves.
Yeah, and his willingness to just run you into the ground with youth when your legs get heavy. They aren't just one type of predator anymore.
Yeah.
The tactical unpredictability is going to make them a complete nightmare to scout.
Still, it makes you think. Leganes laid down a blueprint in those opening minutes, right? They proved that a quick, disciplined counterattack can actually pierce Madrid's high press before they get settled.
They absolutely did.
So for you listening, here is the big question. If more La Liga teams figure out how to survive that initial wave of pressure and strike first, will Mourinho be forced to completely abandon Real's elaborate attack for a more ruthless, direct style of play?
If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please consider subscribing to Decision 45. Your support means the world to us and helps us keep creating high-quality content just like this. Don't forget to hit that like button, leave a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe so you never miss an update.